the deep sea, a realm of perpetual darkness, crushing pressure, and freezing temperatures. It's the largest, yet least explored, habitat on Earth. In our last journey, we glimpsed the bizarre and the beautiful that call this abyss home, but those were just shadows on the wall. The true masters of the deep remain, shrouded in mystery. Today, we dive deeper than ever before, past the twilight zone, into the midnight abyss, where sunlight has never reached. What we find there will challenge our understanding of life itself. The pressure is mounting, the darkness is absolute, and the real question is, what is watching us from the void? We first encountered the Greenland shark, a living fossil with a jaw that catapults forward to snatch its prey. Imagine a creature that has roamed the deep for over 125 million years. Its design so perfect it has barely changed. Its pink, flabby skin and long, flattened snout give it an almost alien appearance. But this snout is a sophisticated sensory organ, covered in electroreceptors called ampulla of Lorenzini, allowing it to detect the faint electrical fields of fish, squid, and crustaceans moving in the total darkness. Its seemingly clumsy body is perfectly adapted for a low-energy lifestyle, ambushing unsuspecting victims with that terrifying, lightning-fast jaw extension. Then there's the barrelli fish, Macropina microstoma, a creature straight out of a science fiction film. It gazes up at the world through its own transparent head. Its large, tubular eyes, protected within a fluid-filled dome. These incredible eyes can rotate, allowing it to look straight ahead to hunt, or directly upwards to spot the silhouettes of prey against the faint light filtering from above. This see-through skull provides an unobstructed, panoramic view of its surroundings, a critical advantage in the dimly lit twilight zone. The two small indentations where you'd expect its eyes to be are actually its olfactory organs, its sense of smell. The real eyes are the green orbs inside. And who could forget the viperfish? Its fangs are so long, so grotesquely oversized, that they don't even fit inside its mouth, curling back up towards its eyes. This isn't a design flaw, it's a terrifyingly effective trap. The viperfish uses a glowing lure on its dorsal spine, a photophore, to attract smaller fish. As the prey draws near, mesmerized by the light, the viperfish opens its hinged jaw to an astonishing degree and impales the victim on its needle-sharp teeth. It's a brutal, efficient predator of the abyss, a true nightmare creature whose bite ensures there is no escape. The sheer force and speed of its attack are mind-boggling for an environment where energy is so precious. Further down, in the crushing blackness, the anglerfish reigns. A master of deception, the female dangles a bioluminescent luran, filled with glowing bacteria, twitching it to mimic the movement of a small creature. In the featureless void, this single point of light is an irresistible beacon for curious prey. Once a fish or squid gets too close, the anglerfish is enormous. Cavernous mouth opens in a fraction of a second, creating a vacuum that sucks the victim in. The male anglerfish's life is even more bizarre. Tiny in comparison, his sole purpose is to find a female. Once he does, he bites onto her, his body fusing with hers until he becomes little more than a permanent parasitic sperm bank. We also met the vampire squid, whose name, Vampiroteuthis, translates to vampire squid from hell. Yet, it's not a bloodsucker, nor is it a true squid or octopus. It's a living relic, the last surviving member of its own unique order. When threatened, it doesn't squirt ink. Instead, it pulls its webbed, cloak-like arms over its body, inverting itself into a defensive ball and exposing spiny projections called serai. In an even more spectacular defense, it can release a cloud of bioluminescent mucus, a sticky, sparkling smokescreen that can glow for nearly 10 minutes, dazzling a predator while the vampire squid makes its escape into the darkness. And then, the giant this deep-sea scavenger, looking like a colossal woodlouse from a prehistoric era, can grow to over a foot long. It's an expert at surviving in a world of scarcity. Living on the seafloor, it feasts on whatever falls from the waters above, primarily the carcasses of whales, fish, and squid. Its metabolism is incredibly slow, allowing it to survive for years. Some researchers say up to 5 years without a single meal. When a food source does appear, it gorges itself, its segmented body capable of expanding to hold a massive amount of food, storing energy for the long, lean times ahead. But the deep holds creatures far larger and stranger still. Let's talk about a true titan, the colossal squid. Not to be confused with the giant squid. The colossal squid is the heavyweight champion of the invertebrate world. It lives in the frigid waters around Antarctica, and while its length is comparable to the giant squid, its body is much wider and heavier, potentially weighing up to 750 kilograms. It has the largest eyes of any animal on Earth, the size of dinner plates, designed to capture the faintest glimmers of bioluminescence in the polar abyss. And its tentacles are armed not just with suckers, but with sharp, swiveling hooks, turning its arms into deadly weapons for capturing large fish and even other squid. Now, from the colossal to the cute. Let us introduce the Dumbo octopus. Named for the prominent ear-like fins on its mantle that resemble the ears of Disney's famous elephant, this octopus flies through the deep water by flapping these fins. Unlike other octopuses that use jet propulsion, the Dumbo gracefully soars through the abyss. They are among the deepest living of all known octopuses, found on the seafloor at depths of 3,000 to 4,000 meters, and sometimes even deeper. They hover over the mud, searching for worms, crustaceans, and other small creatures to eat, swallowing their prey whole. Their charming appearance belies a rugged survivor of extreme environments. But the abyss also hides ancient predators. Meet the frilled shark, a creature so primeval it's often called a living fossil. Its lineage stretches back at least 80 million years. Meet its long serpentine body and eel-like movements. It looks more like a sea monster from myth than a shark. Its jaw is lined with 300 trident-shaped teeth arranged in 25 rows. A terrifying arrangement perfect for snagging soft-bodied prey like squid. It's believed to hunt by ambushing its victims, lunging forward and bending its body like a snake to swallow its prey whole. Encounters with this creature are incredibly rare, offering only fleeting glimpses into life during the age of dinosaurs. This world is sustained by a constant, gentle blizzard known as marine snow. It isn't snow at all, but a continuous shower of organic material falling from the upper layers of the ocean. It's made of dead algae, fecal pellets, remnants of zooplankton, and other biological debris. For the countless organisms living in the sunless deep, this is their primary source of food. A whole ecosystem, from tiny bacteria to larger scavengers like the giant isopod, is built upon this nutrient-rich snowfall. It is the vital connection between the sunlit world above and the dark world below. A slow-motion banquet that fuels the engine of life in the abyss. And where the very crust of our planet is torn, we find hydrothermal vents. These are underwater geysers, spewing superheated, manure-rich water from beneath the seafloor. In this toxic high-pressure environment, life shouldn't exist, yet it thrives. Instead of sunlight, entire communities of giant tube worms, blind shrimp, and ghostly white crabs are powered by bacteria. Here have evolved to convert the harsh chemicals from the vents, like hydrogen sulfide, into energy. This discovery completely changed our definition of life, proving it can flourish in the most extreme conditions imaginable, completely independent of the sun. What other secrets about the origin of life might be hidden in these deep-sea oases? The possibilities are as vast as the ocean itself. We've only just scratched the surface of this mysterious world. Every dive brings new species, new behaviors, and new questions. Our technology is advancing, allowing us to push the boundaries of exploration further. Yet, for every discovery we make, the abyss reveals 100 more mysteries. It reminds us that our planet's greatest wonders may not be in the stars above, but in the crushing, silent darkness right here on Earth. As we ascend from this journey, one thought lingers. We've seen titans and living fossils, but what else remains unseen? Scientific sonar has detected enormous shapes in the deepest trenches, shapes that defy our current understanding of biology. Are they just geological anomalies, or are they something more? Something alive? The truth is still down there, waiting in the deep. What secrets lie hidden in the crushing blackness of our deepest oceans? We've mapped the surface of the moon more thoroughly than our own seabed. Down there, in a world without sun, evolution has crafted creatures so strange, they defy imagination. Today, we journey into the abyss to uncover 3 of the most bizarre animals on Earth. Our first stop is the Midnight Zone, home to a true monster of the deep. In the absolute darkness, a single, ghostly light dangles, luring unsuspecting prey. This is no trick of the light. It's a living fishing rod, a glowing appendage filled with bioluminescent bacteria attached to the anglerfish's head. As smaller fish are mesmerized by the hypnotic glow, they swim closer and closer until massive, needle-sharp teeth snap shut. It's one of nature's most perfect traps, but the way this creature hunts is nothing compared to its truly shocking method of finding a mate. When a tiny male anglerfish finally finds a female, who can be up to 60 times his size, he bites onto her and never lets go. His body literally fuses with hers, his organs dissolving until he becomes little more than a permanent, attached sperm bank for the female to use whenever she pleases. From one biological enigma to another, we meet the master of disguise, the mimic octopus. This incredible cephalopod doesn't just change color, it physically impersonates other animals. It can flatten itself to look like a flounder, trail its arms to mimic a venomous sea snake, or even pose as a lionfish. This raises a profound question. Is this just instinct, or a sign of a deeper, more conscious intelligence lurking beneath the waves? But what if a creature could not only outsmart its predators, but also outsmart death itself? Meet the immortal jellyfish, Turritopsis dorni. When faced with stress, old age, or injury, this tiny jellyfish can do the impossible. It reverts its cells back to their earliest form, transforming from an adult back into a juvenile polyp. It is born again, effectively hitting the reset button on its life cycle. This biological immortality opens up staggering possibilities for science and our understanding of aging. The anglerfish, the mimic octopus, the immortal jellyfish 3, glimpses into an alien world that exists right here on our planet. The ocean's depths hold wonders we are only just beginning to understand. Which of these creatures surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Have you ever wondered why there are so many different kinds of fish? From the tiny guppy in your fish tank to the massive whale shark in the ocean, we're talking about over 34,000 species. How did we get this incredible variety? Well, the story of fish evolution is a fascinating tale of adaptation, and it boils down to 3 key ingredients. First up, we have isolation. Imagine a big lake. Over time, maybe a landslide splits it into 2 smaller, separate lakes. The fish in one lake can no longer breed with the fish in the other. They are geographically isolated. Each group is now on its own evolutionary path, facing different challenges and opportunities. This is happening all over the world, in rivers, lakes, and even different parts of the vast ocean, constantly creating new, separate populations. Next comes mutation. This is the random engine of change. Think of DNA as a recipe book for building a fish. Every now and then, a tiny typo or mutation occurs when that recipe is cooked. Most of these changes are harmless or even unhelpful, but occasionally, a mutation gives a fish a slight advantage. Maybe it helps them swim a little faster, digest a new type of food, or see better in murky water. This isn't a dramatic, overnight transformation, but a series of small, incremental changes that add up over generations. And that brings us to our third and final ingredient, niche specialization. This is where those small advantages really shine. With all these isolated groups and random mutations, fish start to specialize to fit into very specific roles, or niches, in their environment. A fantastic example is the cichlid fish in the Great Lakes of Africa, like Lake Victoria and Lake Malawi. From a few common ancestors, hundreds of unique species evolved in just a few thousand years, a blink of an eye in evolutionary time. Some developed powerful jaws to crush snails, others evolved slender mouths to pick algae off rocks, and some became specialized predators of other fish. Each species carved out its own unique way of life, allowing many to coexist without directly competing. We see this everywhere. On coral reefs, fish have evolved an explosion of colors and patterns, some for camouflage to hide from predators, others as flashy signals to attract a mate. Dive into the deep sea, and you'll find fish that have evolved bioluminescence, creating their own light in the eternal darkness to hunt, communicate, and find partners. Every single habitat, from a rushing mountain stream to the crushing pressure of the abyss, is a unique evolutionary laboratory. Each one has pushed fish to become the incredible, diverse, and stunning creatures we see today. It's a beautiful, ongoing experiment that has been running for hundreds of millions of years. And here is the most astonishing fact. New fish species are still being discovered every single year, which means the story of all 34,000 fish is not finished. It's still unfolding.